Defender Vulnerability Management offers intelligent assessments, risk-based prioritization, and built-in mitigation and remediation tools. These capabilities help you to discover, assess, and remediate vulnerabilities and misconfigurations all in one place. For example, you can see consolidated asset inventories, block vulnerable versions of applications, and proactively monitor compliance against industry benchmarks and customizable baselines. For the rest of this video, I'll demo Defender Vulnerability Management, starting right here in the dashboard. It provides a quick overview of your security landscape based on Microsoft Threat Intelligence, with tiles like your organization's exposure and device scores, threat awareness details, leveraging Microsoft Threat Insights, and prioritized security recommendations. To see a more detailed list of security recommendations, just select Show More. Defender Vulnerability Management provides extended asset coverage. See consolidated asset inventories of software, browser extensions, and digital certificates it found in your organization. These inventories help you to monitor potential vulnerabilities and misconfigurations across your entire digital estate. First, the Browser Extensions tab lists the extensions found in your organization. For each extension in the list, you see the permission risk, the number of devices that have it installed, and importantly, the number of times the extension requested permissions. Select any browser extension to see more details about it. In this case, AdBlock Plus has a critical permissions risk, so I'll start here. In the Details side pane, you see some basic information about the extension, and you see a list of permissions that it requested on the Permissions tab. What makes this extension a critical risk is that it requires access to all URLs. Next is to see where this extension is installed by selecting the Installed Devices tab. For each, I can see whether the extension is turned on or not, which version is installed, and so on. Similarly, the Certificates tab lists the certificates found in your organization. The list contains the obvious details, like issue and expiration dates, key length, and so on. That's great, but filtering the list is the value here. To get a sense of things you need to prioritize, select Filter, and then filter to show certificates that are expiring soon and those with a short key length. The Details side pane for certificate provides all the expected certificate details. Then select Installed Devices to see a list of the devices that have the certificate installed. Now, back to the Software tab. The first application in the list is Google Chrome because it has the greatest impact on my exposure score. Select an application to see more information in the Details side pane. But to really drill down, select Open Software page. The overview provides, well, an overview of the software that includes a summary of the weaknesses discovered in the software and the number of exposed devices over time. The Security Recommendations tab lists all the actions associated with this software. The first one, Update Google Chrome, addresses the greatest number of weaknesses, so I'll select it to get more details. I see that there is one critical CVE and 72 high-priority CVEs associated with it. Not only that, but I also see the note that a verified exploit is publicly available. Ouch. The Exposed Devices tab lists the devices where this software is installed, and the Associated CVEs tab provides a full list of all the CVEs associated with it. It's clear that updating Google Chrome is super important, so I'm going to request remediation right here without having to jump over to use a different tool. To get started, select Request Remediation. While I could target this remediation at all device groups, I'll choose to target selected device groups, and then select North America. On the Remediation Request page, you can choose to update the software, uninstall it, or something else. I'm updating it. Of course, provide a due date, priority, and any notes that'll help IT complete your remediation request. Things get interesting on the next page, where you can choose a mitigation action. These are temporary measures to reduce risk until IT has updated the software. In this case, I want to block the application until IT remediates it. When users try to run Google Chrome, they'll see the warning message you provide here. And that's it. Submit the remediation request, and you're done. All within Defender Vulnerability Management, I was able to identify a problem, request its remediation, and temporarily block it. Nice. You can also pivot to a wider, more comprehensive view to focus on the biggest vulnerabilities on your most critical assets. The Recommendations page consolidates multiple data feeds to provide a detailed list of security actions, like protecting network shares, that we prioritize by risk impact, along with each action's relevant threat insights. For example, updating Chrome and Wireshark are prioritized first because of the high number of weaknesses associated with them. Selecting a recommendation shows contextual details that include relevant CVEs and exposed devices. Then, after reviewing the details, you can move seamlessly into remediation by selecting Request Remediation. Keeping with the all-in-one place theme, you can also track the status of your requested remediations within Defender Vulnerability Management on the remediation page. In this case, I can see that my remediation is in progress, and by selecting it, I get more details, including information about the mitigation action and the remediation status. This capability bridges the SecOps and IT teams to help ensure the organization doesn't overlook vulnerabilities. While blocking vulnerable software and planning remediations are important, so is proactively managing your security posture and measuring compliance with configuration benchmarks. In Defender Vulnerability Management, the Baselines Assessments page helps you do just that. The Overview tab summarizes device compliance, top failing devices, top misconfigured settings, and compliance over time. To use this tool, you must first customize it to meet your organization's goals. To do that, you create custom profiles that continuously monitor your assets and configurations against the benchmarks that you choose. For my demo, I'll select Create to create a new profile that monitors Windows 10 compliance with SIS benchmarks. Give the profile a memorable name, and I'll describe what I'm trying to achieve with this profile. And then, I'll scope the profile by first choosing the software I want to monitor, Windows 10 in this case, selecting SIS version 1 as my benchmark, and setting the compliance level to 1. After scoping my new profile, I can choose the specific settings I want to monitor. In this case, I want to monitor a small number of settings around our organization's password policies, like setting the minimum password length to 14 characters. Our users are going to love this one. Next, I can simply choose to monitor all device groups, or I can target specific groups by selecting Choose Device Groups, and followed by the groups I want to monitor. And that's it. I'll click through to the end to create the profile. You see that here at the top of the list. Now I can continuously monitor compliance against the benchmark at both the device and configuration levels, including the number of compliant and non-compliant devices. Microsoft Security.